Friends, good evening. How are you doing? Welcome to Dealing with Money Channel 2. Thank you all so much for subscribing to my new little bitty channel here. You guys are making this thing grow. Yeah, I think YouTube has been like, what is going on with this channel? Why is it growing so fast? I'm about to get this thing monetized if you guys keep this up. This is crazy. Thank you so much. It's fun. I love talking about other stocks that I've been looking at secretly and really excited about. So it's fun just to really break off from the main channel and talk about these, maybe some more unique, risky plays, or just, stocks that maybe aren't really talked about on YouTube as much. So let's dig into it. Let's talk about SoFi and let's talk about D-Wave here. So first I want to talk about D-Wave here, quantum computing stock. Now, I've talked about them before. This is a stock that I've been obsessed with, and I really haven't talked about a lot on the main channel, just because I don't know. It's a futuristic play at this point. It really is, and I'm not trying to say anything negative here. So this is not like a bearish video on it whatsoever. But I do say that you should bring a sword with you to this fight with D-Wave here, because I think this is one of those stocks, one of those companies right now that you may not see huge potential in this play for a year or two. You really might not. And before I say what I'm going to say, I said this last time, so I don't want to repeat myself too much here. But when we look at quantum computing right now, the market is still not focused on it. And there is a conversation to say that quantum computing is mixed in 100% with AI tech, which the market is 100% looking into that. There's another line down the sand where people go, no, quantum computing is totally different, and the market, and I seem to somewhat agree with this too, because I'm kind of seeing it. The market has not focused; it hasn't laser beam focused on quantum computing stocks, companies, and there's a few of them out there, and D-Wave is one that I really like for particular reasons. I'll mention why. But it is a situation of where this may be just a moment for you. This is a season with this stock to just, if you believe in it, you believe where quantum computing is going, this may just be a moment in time where you go, you know what, this is going to be a play into the future. I'm just going to buy this stock and I'm going to keep pushing into it. I don't know if this is a play that's gonna be good for me, but I just have a feeling that quantum computing is going to pay off, that it's going to be the next big wave in the market. I could definitely see that argument 100%, because I'm kind of there. I'm kind of obsessed. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about quantum computing, but I am a moron too. So there's only so much I can go with it, and I say that just to be honest with you. So quantum computing, D-Wave here, D-Wave Quantum Inc. here. They have their Q2s coming up here soon, August. And, the situation is that their last quarterly's Q1s were enormous. They were like, what the heck just happened? Now, a lot of that too was, the company really finding this place of grants, investors, all that kind of stuff. And, they made some money. And, we had this 100%, we had this teacup handle situation happen here, cup and handle, months ago, well, not even months ago, just a little bit of time ago. And then we've had this huge wave up here into this, middle teen position right now with D-Wave here. So it's a situation that we're watching unfolding, and I really am interested to see what can this company continue to push into revenue-wise the rest of the year, because I really think that if they continue to hold this ground of, high revenue that they now find themselves in, that's going to be a big change with this company, 100%. So, but the argument too with this is that this is a new company, 100%. This is a company that's pretty much fresh. It's new. Where are we going from this point forward? And, I think, like I said, there is this thing where I think that, like I said, the market is not really focusing so much on these quantum computing stocks right now. There was a moment ago, months ago, where, everyone was talking about quantum computing stocks, but it didn't last long. NVIDIA once again kind of took, the zeitgeist of the market, Palantir. Everyone right now is focused still on chip stocks and software stocks. Big Bear, I would say at this point, is a lot more popular than D-Wave. D-Wave, 100%. Now, D-Wave obviously is a lot more expensive stock. They're making a little more money than Big Bear at this point. So there's an argument, where people go like, well, of course I'm going to put my money in D-Wave. But, the thing with this stock too is I go, how fast can this stock grow people are texting me, how fast can this stock grow without FOMO, without a lot more support from the market? It's obviously at a very nice stock price right now. It's just a situation of, where do we go from here? Now, obviously, too, this next quarterly that's going to come out with D-Wave, it's going to be very telling of, is this just the new revenue stream of D-Wave? Could be, 100%. If it is, it's going to hold this team position 100%, and it could generate more stock price out of it. So, I mean, imagine if they come out here with what if they come out with 16, 17, what if they come up with like a $20 million revenue out of this quarterly here? That's going to be huge. Look at from Q4 to Q1 of 2025. I mean, just what in the freak? So it's a very interesting situation that's unfolding here, and I think that's why I want to say that it has a very, very strong fan base attached to it. People that are very obsessed with it. I'm one of them. I've talked about it on the main channel, but no one seemed to care about it. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just be obsessed with it over here. I am watching it like a hawk. I am very interested in this stock, this company, and two, I don't even think that. Obviously I've talked about the market having this moment with quantum computing stocks, but I don't think it's there yet. But I don't even know that technology is fully 100% believing in quantum computing companies. And I say this because I've breaking apart from the stock market, I've listened to a lot of interviews trying to understand quantum computing, and there is a large community that is very in this atmosphere of quantum computing may never really work in the next 5 years or 10 years. It may be by 2040 or 50 before we actually see quantum computing companies work to their full potential. Or it may be 5 years from now. But then again, 5 years ago, we weren't seeing AI anywhere like it is right now. I mean, AI videos right now, you're like, is that a person? So it could be something like that with quantum computing. I don't know. Like I said, I am in no way, shape, or form, someone who should be talking about technology. So me as an investor trying to do research, trying to understand how soon is this market really going to start up? This is kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to be ahead of it. Now, obviously, if you're with me on this, you're thinking kind of the same thing. And we're like, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think it's gonna take time, but if, I'm okay waiting if they keep making these great quarterlies, if they keep making money. Okay, great, whatever. It may pay off dramatically one day. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep, this is going to be a stock that I'm going to keep talking about 100% because I think it's so interesting what is going on over here. And there's not a lot of people looking at it. So it's like, this is pretty interesting. And friends, this is SoFi. SoFi finally getting the recognition it should. And, like I said, I'm sorry. I was projecting that SoFi would be at, $30 position right now. It's not. I've almost got you there. It's at 20. We'll say 22. Let me have that. We're at $22 here. I think it'll be just a moment before we get to $22. But it's a situation of where quarterlies are about to come out again here with SoFi. SoFi is doing what it always does. It runs up before quarterlies. And then after quarterlies, it finds a new position. Now, I think probably too, we could see SoFi really run up more. I think it could definitely run up in the $25 position here. Undoubtedly, we've still got 2 weeks until, quarterlies come out here. So, but after that, if quarterlies are just another quarterly where they go like, these were good quarterlies, they were good, everything's on track, company stock still moving up, we could see SoFi here just fall to the new position of $17, $18, and that's the new bottom, which is fantastic. And then the new, on a good day, maybe we move to $22, maybe 25. That's kind of where I'm at. Now, obviously we've still got, after this quarterly, we've still got 2 quarterlies left, one in the year, particularly Q3 here. SoFi could easily be at $30. It could easily maybe move to $40 towards the end of the year, Q4. So I still think I'm drinking the juice on SoFi 100%. I think it's still an undervalued stock. I have been begging and telling people to look at this stock since it was $4. Okay, since it was $4, $7, $10, $12, $15. I've been begging people. I still think even at these prices, it's undervalued. If you are taking this roller coaster ride with SoFi, this is something that you're gonna want to hold like in your Roth IRA, your portfolio for a long time, because there's still so much potential with this company. Don't look at SoFi is not one of these investments that you need to look at as like, yeah, if it gets to like $30, I'm just gonna sell out of it and take my money and go. No. Don't look at SoFi like that. SoFi, unlike a lot of things, is a great investment for your future. Really, this could be a stock that you grow with, that, really, this is why I tell people, like, it's really a stock where you look at as like to put in your retirement, your Roth IRA, because there's still so much to come. Listen, SoFi, you have to understand, is becoming a very dominant predator out there in the banking world. SoFi is not focused on brick and mortar banks. They're not really focused on that. They're focused on getting their name out there. They're focused on advertisement. They're focused on their technology for putting their system right in the palms of people's hands on their phone. So this is where SoFi is really pushing into this next generation of investors, banking, loans, applications, all that kind of stuff right now, credit cards. And they're achieving it. They are going after people right now, and they're getting them. They are getting them. And it's a situation that's paying off here. So, obviously, SoFi is number one contender right now. Its competition is Robinhood, 100%. So this is going to be a back and forth situation of Robinhood and SoFi going at it 100%. And listen, SoFi has still not even done things. There's things that it hasn't even achieved yet that you can be a part of as an investor. It hasn't hit these high prices where people really have to look at and go like, that's a really expensive price. I don't know that I want to be there with that. 2, SoFi has not released $1 billion quarterly. That's on the way. That more than likely is going to happen this year. They're going to, at least by Q1 of 2026, it's coming. 2, with that, we haven't even seen SoFi, in the next year or two get into maybe, okay, if they can start achieving these $1 billion, quarterlies, they're going to start to really build up money. Maybe SoFi is going to say, hey, we're going to attach a dividend to our stock. Okay. Now, I don't expect them to come out and say like, hey, we're going to give you a 19-cent dividend. No. They may start off with like a 3-4% dividend every quarterly attached to their stock, but still, nonetheless, imagine 2 years from now you're holding 50 shares, 100 shares, 1,000 shares of SoFi, who knows? And then they say, hey, here's a dividend. Holy freaking smokes, dude. And then the stock price is still growing on top of that. Maybe 5 years, SoFi gets really expensive. The market cap's grown. Everything's become out of control with it. And you're like, oh my God, this is more than what I could have thought, ever dream of. Then they say, hey, we're going to have a stock split. Listen, these things happen. They happen. Look at what SoFi's done so far. It's taken a moment to get here. I'm not going to lie. It's taken some time. But, SoFi it's going places, man. It is a huge, it's competition for these older banks. And 2, just like I'm saying, I said that SoFi and Robinhood are, high competition towards each other. They somewhat too are partners in the sense that they're going to be huge competition for these other banks that have been around for a long time, because they're pushing into technology. They're pushing into a younger generation, and that is continuing to grow at a very alarming fast rate right now, that other banks, you have to believe and know that they are very concerned about, that just 100% are. So friends, I love both these companies. I think the future is very hot with them. It's going to be good. And I'm super excited. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will continue to yap my gums on here about stocks. And friends, bye everyone.